Jamaica, China, Italy, Brazil, Africa, United Kingdom.
Nike, Adidas, Reebok.
Versace, Nike, Adidas.
Prada, Gucci, Versace, Sheila.
Good evening, welcome to Question Time based at St Martin's Community Centre, Tulse Hill, London. We're discussing a dispute this evening at the Kukdong clothes factory in Mexico, which produces goods for global companies such as Nike and Reebok. To discuss this dispute, we have with us on the panel a worker from the Kukdong factory, Hyia Woppa. We have a Kukdong factory representative, Melissa Dong. We have the Chief Executive Officer of Nike. That's the panel that we have with us this evening.
Hold on, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm Frank Fax. We represent the efforts of the Global Alliance of Clothing Workers, religious leaders and students standing up to demand human rights for sweatshop workers.
Frank is a human rights campaigner who we invited to this event and who's obviously arrived a bit late. Melissa, why is this dispute happening?
Because our workers are lazy and they just don't do no work, and then they complain that we don't pay them enough. And without us, they have nothing.
Yeah, she has a point. Like, if we didn't have a job, then we wouldn't be able to support our families. But like, if we didn't work for them, then they wouldn't have any goods to sell and to look after themselves also. So,
Mr. Nike, do you have responsibility for the workers?
Yes, I do have responsibility for the workers, but they do not work hard enough. Sometimes I'll go into there and check every once in a while, and I see them sitting down with the materials on the table instead of making the trainers with the materials and clothes.
Whose responsibility is it to ensure the workers have a dignified life?
It's Nike's, it's the factories, and it's global organisations like the International Labour Organisation, which is trying to set global standards. So there isn't this race to the bottom where people move production from country to country, and that there's a standard fair pay internationally, globally.
How will that help you as a worker?
well, I hope it does. I hope it does get around, and that people realise that what we go through is not easy, and that they, maybe Mr. Nike and his assistant, his manager, may try to like make our pay more higher, and they can improve things in the factory.
Nike has an observer in the factory to make sure that things are running fine. The workers are being treated fairly, but they're being paid by Nike. Is that fair?
Yeah, because they're observing for us, they're helping us to fire people that are being lazy.
You could have slave workers, couldn't you, or prison workers?
But they're
Is
not
that
slaves,
a good way to run
But
a
they're not
factory?
slaves or prison workers. They work for us.
Actually, it feels like being a slave in that factory.
Yes, but don't we give you money? How can it be a slave?
How much do we get paid, Melissa Dong? So you don't even know because it's so little.
What changes do you expect to happen?
We demand that all workers return to work, including the ones who are fired. We repel against what they're doing.
No,
think
you
it's
don't.
horrible. We do.
Not everyone does it, because why do we have
Melissa
all the workers
Dong,
back?
excuse me, Melissa Dong.
Listen, Melissa Dong, you're being very rude. You're not in our position. You do not know what
I
it's
don't
like.
want to be in your position.
And I don't care if you're not. And I don't care
Okay.
if you do not want to be. But what I'm trying to say is you don't know how it feels to be in our position.
Yes, you don't know how it feels to manage all these people, and some of them don't work. I'm
Melissa,
paying people
Melissa
that
Dong,
don't work.
Melissa Dong, if I could put it to you, why are you against an independent union?
I'm not against it, but they're saying stuff that are not facts. Like this man over here saying how they've got
So,
true facts. But
How
they
do we
haven't.
best get those facts?
They can send in one of their own people to observe, and they'll see that the people.
When you say
that
their
have-
own people, who? Are we talking the protesters?
yeah,
or
the
what?
protesters,
That'd be
Mr.
very
That's
Frank.
good.
That's a good thing to do, and we'd welcome that opportunity, and we'd definitely send them as a representative.
And Hyia, would you be happy with an independent observer?
Yes, I'll be
managed
very
by
happy with
an
that.
independent commission?
Yeah, and I would like them to observe Mr. Nike and his so-called assistant here, his manager, because I don't think what does she do herself? What are you getting paid for? Sitting around on your lazy bum? What are you doing? Why are you here?
I am employing people.
Nobody likes you. Anyway,
I am paying you,
Mr.
so you
Nike,
should love me.
Mr.
But
Nike,
I'm paying you to
I
help me
say,
because you're
Now you
valuable.
get a new
I think
manager. You get a new manager. You should get yourself a new manager.
We need to get a new worker. You're fired
Do you
after
think-
this.
Do you think so?
This
You
is
should
just the
fire
kind
her.
of attitude we're trying to change.
Because why do we have all
Melissa
the workers
Dong,
back?
excuse me, Melissa Dong.
Listen, Melissa Dong, you're being very rude. You're not in our position. You do not know what
I
it's
don't
like.
want to be in your position.
And I don't care if you're not. And I don't care
Okay.
if you do not want to be.